Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. We're going to start off with a HomeGymCon update, go over some new products, and there are quite a few from Rogue, Get RXd, JD Gym Equip, Surplus Strength, and Get RXd again. We have some survey results for you, and then we have a product idea from Jake. So with that, let's get started.
Oops. All right, let's move on to a HomeGymCon update. So we only have one new vendor, but this, again, we're filled up in the exhibition hall and we're filling out that second room. It is Stratera weight bar. And if you're looking at the screen, they have a bar that is layered with a ton of different Knurl marks. They're with Cerakote. So it's a unique bar, and they have a few other items. Also, AbMat will have the Innovation Station. So they purchased a few hundred additional square feet where inventors and other product creators will have the ability to apply to be within this space to share with a group of people. We're still working out some of the details, but more to come on that. It'll be a good opportunity for somebody who maybe has a product but doesn't have a brand and doesn't necessarily have the funds to go all in on a booth. So this is one way that AbMat is supporting this group of people and an opportunity for them to get involved as well. And then our last HomeGymCon update we have here is we've talked about the Strongman Throwdown at HomeGymCon. That will be happening Saturday, led by Kurt. But we do have a title sponsor now, and that is First Form. So they are, we should be able to use their big truck for a truck pull, unless for whatever reason something happens. 2, they are adding 8 large prize packs for for winners, and then they're also supporting in other ways. So we greatly appreciate First Form stepping up to the plate for this one. And then
Love you, First Form.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And there are 3 more. Competitions that we have. If for any other vendors who are listening, we'd love to have you as the title sponsor as well. Just reach out.
Definitely. Awesome news. All right, we're going to start off those new products with a Rogue pack sled. So if you're looking at the picture, it is a draggable sled, small, lightweight, portable, that can be easily stored in a backpack or rucksack. It measures 12.5 inches by 9 inches by 1.85 inches and weighs only 10 pounds. So the sled has quickly removable weight posts and a pulling strap so you can easily add and remove weight.
Next is the Xebex Air Bike 1000 Eco. So this is kind of an air bike without some of the frills, I guess you could say, of some of the others. And it's just over $500 right now. I think when the pre-order price is done, it'll be closer to $600, but still quite a bit cheaper than most of the others out there. And again, probably is just something that's going to be able to get the job done for most people that don't need that extra beef or whatever.
If you're into treadmills, the Xebex FreeRun Motorized treadmill just came out. Jake and I were kind of drooling over this one. It doesn't use a traditional belt. It uses treads like you would see like on a Trueform or Assault Runner. The big thing with this one is you can switch between free running, so non-motorized, and motorized. Default setting is motorized, so use it like a traditional treadmill, set your speed and go. But it also has a setting where you power it. We were wondering if it's more like a push sled, or you could even imagine it might angle up and you run against gravity. But super cool treadmill from Xebex.
Yeah, really slick. That is now on my wish list.
That thing's sweet.
Speaking of beef, sometimes those Bulletproof Isolator knobs aren't necessarily the strongest. They're just the basic plastic. They definitely do the job, but I think this problem arose from someone's braking, and they just reached out to JD Gym Equipped to create some custom knurled knob specifically for the Bulletproof Isolator, which you adjust as you move up and down or on and off. So definitely a little bit extra, but one example of something that a manufacturer like JD Gym Equip can do with their custom work. So yeah, this is definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, then we have the adjustable 1-inch pull-up bar from Surplus Strength. I think I saw a prototype of this at HomeGymCon, and here it is coming to market. You can see it slides right in, and then there's a space for speed pins to fix it to your rig or whatever you're attaching it to. Yeah, pretty cool. Just a quick attached pull-up bar.
Yeah, and one note to make is I think there are a few others out there for like specifically for kids. I believe this is the only one for 1-inch holes only. And then I think like it's gonna make it strong enough to where you can like someone who's large, like a normal human, like not just specifically kids, can use it for like rows. Sorry, I got a motorcycle driving by.
Let's go.
So yeah, like
street racing going on out there.
Weather's nice. People are out. But it's like something that you could use for like rows or push-ups or even like pull-ups if you're not getting too crazy. So I think that's something to keep in mind. I think I'm gonna get one and I'll test it out. And then next up, the last one we have here, or no, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. I'll take mine. Mine is the Profile Pro folding full cage from PRX. So PRX very well known for their folding racks, their ease of use, and their just like overall durability, and they're made in America. Well, now they have a full rack option, and if you've seen the videos, looks just about as easy with just a few extra steps as before. So definitely a cool option. The price tag is high on this, but if it's, I don't think there's anything else quite like it. So if you want a power rack that you can fold and it's stout up against your wall, pretty cool option.
All right, the last new product we have from you comes from Get RXd. It is a Combo Rack 1000. So it's designed to meet the IPF specs. If you know what those are, it meets. The neat thing about this is it does have the removable flat bench. Jake and I were talking, we're not power lifters. We're not too familiar with combo racks. They might all have a removable, but maybe not. This one does for sure. And it comes in at a nice price point as well.
Sure. All right, let's move on to those survey results. So, all right, so we asked what would you say your current buying status for the home gym? So are you actively searching? Or are you not looking? So the most popular answer was that was with 42% of the votes. They say they don't think they'll buy from their home gym soon. Second most popular was I'm waiting for Black Friday deals. That was 23%. 20% said I am actively searching to add. So I'm always looking. And then 15%, I'm waiting for certain items to come to the market. So in general, it seems like most people are kind of in a waiting game.
All right, well, when you look at your home gym, we're asking how much have you spent on it? The majority of people have spent more than $5,000 on their home gym. The ranges in that more than kind of fluctuate. So just really quick, 5,000 to 10,000, that's where we're looking at about 26%. And then 27% is more than 10,000. I'll just quickly mention that the largest range, though, is between 2,500 and 5,000. That's where 34% of the voters voted. So looks like around that 5,000 mark is where most people fit in.
So those people that are answering their surveys, you know, we know they love their home gyms, and it shows here with how much they've spent. Next up, so I made a little scenario. So let me read this full scenario. And And it was, let's just say there are two benches that are the exact same, but one is made in America and the other is not. How much are you willing to pay more for the one made in America or whatever country you're from? The starting price is $200. And I was pretty conservative on the ranges that I chose. Like, didn't go too high. Just kind of want to get a basis, a base. So it was either less than 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60 more, or 60 to 80 more. And everything was between 24.4% and 26.6%. So very spread out. So, I mean, didn't really answer much, but most people would spend at least a little bit more for the Made in America one.
All right, we're asking a question about how long your typical training sessions last in the gym, and over 50% of people typically work out for 60 to 90 minutes. That was 50.4% of the votes. Other notable ones, 30 to 60 minutes, that was 30% of the votes. And then the two opposite ends of the spectrum received the least amount, less than 30 minutes, that's like 1%. And then more than 90 minutes into 2-hour range, that was 17%. So most of us are around that hour mark, hour and a half. Jake, how long do you work out?
I was going to ask you. I would say
Cool.
Mine is usually right at 90 minutes.
Gotcha.
Right, you.
So mine's not traditional right now because, I'm training for a pretty long run. So when I am just doing weights, it's 45 minutes and I can get in and out. And then obviously when I'm running, it's multiple hours. So it's a little, outside the box right now.
Yeah. Gotcha.
When I'm just doing weightlifting, hour 15.
Gotcha. All right. Last survey questions we have we asked, have you heard of the garage gym competition and have you participated? So 60% have heard of it and then 15% have participated. And we've been asking this question for the last few years and it has gone up. Both of these have gone up steadily since we started asking. And then I'll take this Squat Max MD data as well. So as a follow-up from last podcast and the Squat Max being released, we asked what was your level of interest in the Squat Max, the new Squat Max from Titan. So 19% have a high interest, 30% have medium, 48% say low, and then 3% don't know what it is. And just to give it a little bit of context, that those are very good numbers for a specialty strength machine because most people don't really even consider them for their home gyms. And then we also asked what was your so the Squat Max has two options. One is the rack mounted and one is a standalone. We asked which one was your preference, and 74% say standalone versus 26 wanting that rack attached. And we kind of talked about this last time. It doesn't seem like it saves massive amount of space for the rack attached. So it seems like most people would want the standalone.
If the rack attached had a real nice flat storage against the wall, I feel like it'd be a great choice. But it doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's going to have to kind of lean against something off in the corner.
Yeah.
Are you considering one of these, Jake?
Yes, I am considering one. I want a rack attached one, but it only saves a few space, but it takes up a few posts, for good. You can't move it in and out. Or I'm not going. Yeah. It's too big.
Right.
So yeah, I think I want one.
Yeah. Yep. Got to get that glute loop that he puts on the front. I'm serious. That thing was a killer.
Anyways, all right. I have a few ideas tonight. They both revolve around knurling. And this first one I feel like I'm just missing something. So you might just be like,
God, I get the picture now. Sorry. If you're watching, that's literally you laying on the bench.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, what is
set a quick
oh,
timer.
okay. Nice.
All right, so
All right.
recently, if you're looking at the picture, that is a close grip bench grip. And I was like actually annoyed by the smooth portion of the barbell. So it got me like thinking, like, why is this even here? Like, I understand you get a certain center knurl or not, but what's the point of the center knurl, like the two smooth spots on each side of the center knurl? I don't see any value that provides. So I feel like in a perfect world, this a power bar, especially if it's like a home gym use power bar, where you're not going to ever be doing cleans, you're not ever going to be doing snatches, why not just fully knurl the entire bar and add more knurl marks so that you have a better like understanding of where your hand is when it's tighter? It just kind of seems like what am I missing? Why is this the case?
You're not missing anything. So in the world of those crazy power lifters, a squat bar is fully knurled across.
Right.
And I'm sorry, my eyes are down. I'm looking. So I'm currently looking up the Helios bar from Rep, which is their squat bar, because I bought at the Arnold. It was
I have
fully knurled all the way across.
I have a squat bar. It's fully knurled, but it includes just like three knurl. I'm saying a power bar. What's like? Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Is the knurling process like make it that much more expensive? Like, right?
I can't imagine it would. It feels like you could just,
because what is the smooth part? What's the purpose of that in a power bar? Right? We all know multi-purpose and stuff like that,
right?
But like in a power bar, yeah,
right. And then I do think like the only thing that it really helps you do is align your hands better. But you could just put a few knurl marks there instead. But like honestly, like if you're sweating and doing close grip bench with a bar like this, then it's you have to actually like use chalk or be careful or whatever. So
yeah, I used to always grab just the smooth part, and then it would slide out or your hands would start to scrape to the side. So now when I close grip bench, which I haven't done in a while, I should probably work that in, but it's like pinkies and ring on the knurl and then the rest on the smooth part, just so I get some kind of knurling on my hands.
Right.
So you're saying knurled like a squat bar, but a power bar.
Yeah, correct. Just fully knurled.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Is this a product idea for me to
grade?
Give
it a grade.
Okay. Yeah. let's give it a 9. Feels like that should already be a thing. I wonder if it's just like tradition and history. Like this is how like barbells have always looked, and it's the look that people go for.
I know. Yeah.
I have also. Yeah, I've bought in cheap bars before, and you read reviews like on Amazon or something like that, and everyone's like, the knurling's like so sharp, and then you get it, and it's like a chrome slippery knurling that's not sharp at all. So I'm wondering if certain people just don't love knurling.
Yeah, I feel like it's just no one's just like thought about it. But I did do like a search because I was like, is there a fully knurled power bar? And the top result, like if you pull it up on Google, you get an Ohio power bar ad. But then the next one is from a Reddit post from 2014, and it's from October 14th, 2014, and it's just power bar, but with full knurling. Is there such a thing as a power bar that has knurling completely covering the inside of the bar, no spaces, not a squat bar, one that's suitable for all 3 lifts? I can't seem to find one and don't want to go buying multiple bars route. And then people are like saying, use athletic tape, put chalk on your shirt back where the bar will rest.
Or how about a company just knurl a bar?
Right.
Like just feed it through the knurl.
Just like, just chalk your back, ... So
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely loop arounds, but wouldn't it be nice if something existed where you didn't have to like do a little extra? Yeah, and like any barbell like manufacturers out there, if you make the one like it's not something that a ton of people are going to want, but if it's the only one, it would be decently popular, I'd imagine.
Right.
Especially in this community where, I mean, Jesus, everyone's buying like 14 barbells for their home gym. So if there's like the one that's a fully knurled power bar, not a squat bar, I feel like it's going to be bought up. But
yeah. I mean, and I'm looking at this. It's like responses like that, and there's a few like, yeah, that would make sense. So there we go. Hopefully, someone hears this and they create a fully knurled power bar.
Feed it all the way through.
All right. Next, again. All right. So,
Okay.
knurled handle kettlebells. So we all know this. And let me just explain this. I don't think it's for like, it's not a kettle. It shouldn't be on all kettlebells. But like the issue is during sweaty workouts, just about every kettlebell can be tough to maintain. So chalk's the best way for people to combat the issue. But you know, if you've owned kettlebells in a garage and use chalk, it rusts very fast. And I also think like most people are not using kettlebells in like a competition way. Like they're using it for goblet squats and traditional swings and deadlifts and those sorts of things, where I don't think a minor knurl is going to rip up your hands too bad. So it's just not going to be just like rubbing. And I'm thinking about like a minor knurl. So I believe like, especially with like the Rogue E-Coat kettlebell. So it doesn't have as good of a grip as powder coat, but the durability is like amazing. Like it's been in my garage for a couple of years. It looks pretty good still. No rust. And so I think like a knurl on something like this Rogue E-Coat kettlebell, and there's a few other companies that are making this basically the same kettlebell. I think a little knurl would help for your average folk. And then I'll just go to the next slide. I did find a few with some knurl, but it's like these cheap chrome coated kettlebells. You see Adidas and Valor Fitness. So like these are already like, those are slick kettlebells, with the chrome coating. They're going to be super slick. So they have the knurl. And I wouldn't want the knurl like this. I would just want like a light knurl on something like the Rogue E-Coat kettlebell has a very weak knurl. Like something like that would be ideal, I think.
Yeah, definitely have to be super passive, because I feel like it would, like even on swings, like chew up your hands, even if it was passive. But maybe not. I was also thinking like a knurled pull-up bar would be sweet, but then I was like, I only do strict pull-ups anyway, so like, you know, I'm not kipping or my hand's not moving up there. So I don't know if that would tear you up too bad or if it would be fine. It makes sense. Anything that you grip, having a knurl on it, I like. And I don't do high repetition kettlebell stuff anyway, so
right.
Yeah, it just have to be one of those things where like it's out there and people know if it works or not, if it would like chew you up too bad or not. But, I like knurl. Yeah. I like knurling handles. So the idea of like at least trying it's an 8.
Oh, an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially with that picture of that Rogue kettlebell right there. It looks sexy. So
I mean, it's nice.
Like a nice knurl on that.
The grip is okay, but if it had just a little bit of knurl, I feel like it'd be really solid.
That's yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
I think sweet. Yeah.
So, all right.
Cool.
And wait. Before we go, how's your new rack? Is it worth it?
It's nice. It is. So that's a tough question because, like, you know, I got rid of so much to have the same functionality in my gym, but I love it and I don't regret it. Something as simple as being able to add band pegs. I did some some banded bench press. I finished a back workout with some assisted pull-ups, hooked the bands up and just, repped out high volume pull-ups. Just little things like that you couldn't do before, or you'd have to get too creative to do before. It's been super nice.
And then Joey asked in the comments last week, he said, what did you sell to make room for so that you could afford the PR 5000?
Yeah. Had to part ways with my very first home gym purchase, which were my Penley bumper plates. And at first I was just holding on to them because I loved them so much. And actually I was holding on because I was like, maybe one day I'll do Olympic weightlifting again or something like that. And then it's just, I don't think it's in the cards for me. And so they just sat there collecting dust. So those I got, I would say, a quarter of the price of the rack for. I had quite a few of them. The other quarter, more than, was the full PR 1100 with all the attachments and all the stuff I had involved with that. So with those two things, I almost paid for the rack. And then I had like odds and ends stuff. So, little things like I had 2 slant boards, so I sold one of those, and just little stuff like that. Belts and a couple pairs of unmatching 45s. They went out the door. And I did it. I made it to the point, and those little things, they're all things, everything I got rid of, I wasn't using. So my gym still has the exact same functionality of what I was using before, just with a lot nicer equipment. Just looks good too. There's something about like coming down and just seeing it set up. I showed you before, just the layout. Now is just nicer. So yeah, definitely
makes a big difference.
The right move for my space.
What's going to be the first attachment you buy for it?
Good question. Ultimately, I want.
It doesn't have to be from Rep either. It can be.
It doesn't. You're right. I know. I do want eventually the plate loaded Athena on there on the back of both sides. So I think it will be eventually a 6-post rack with an Athena on there, plate loaded. So I have a functional trainer and the rack all in one. I do also want to get the new Android landmine from Cleva. Yes. And I want to mix that with the Black Widow has like this it's almost like a T-bar for your landmine. So it's like where you stand up and put your feet on, the bar's in between your legs, you stand over it. So one of those foot stands from Black Widow and an Android would be a killer combination.
Yeah. Well, you can use that. You can use the Pridget pad with the landmine pretty well as well.
Yeah. Pritchett pad too. That's similar.
Yeah.
I don't like chest support rows. I almost like the just your classic bent over row a little better, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right on.
I think
cool.
That's where I'm at.
All right. Well, that's
Yep. That's going to do it for us, guys. Did you like tonight's episode? Well, then be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. Be sure to follow HomeGymCon, which is really blowing up into quite the event. French Lick, Indiana. We want to see you out there in April. Jake. Hey, I'm wearing the shirt too. Do you have anything else left for the listeners?
And you got the sign back. Nope, I don't.
Right there? Oh.
Yep, old one.
All right, guys.
All right, nope.
Appreciate you listening. We'll check you next time. See ya.